Also, just so that you guys know that this call will be recorded, so we will upload a YouTube video of this call shortly after, so that if there's any of your friends are not able to attending this community call, they can watch the playback later on.
Yeah, that's perfect. And let's also just note, I want to stress appreciate the people that are here right now. We are just kind of starting these community calls. We've done a couple now in the last few months, but we're going to start doing these a bit more consistently, at least once a month, maybe bi-monthly, maybe twice a month. Now we'll see. But we want to continue to give the community updates on the progress of not just the game, but what else is going on in the entire experience around zkHoldem, and even bigger than zkHoldem, the entire studio, Cart Studio. Because if you're not familiar, zkHoldem just happens to be the first game from Cart Studio. So being here at this point is giving you that early access and that early interest and understanding of not just the zkHoldem game, which is where we're starting with, but you're going to be inside the ecosystem that then develops into a much larger ecosystem of games. So it's super exciting to think about. We start with the zkHoldem and the poker tables and the games, but you're also getting to understand all of the future potential and have a say and ideas and suggestions in the different games that can come as well from Cart Studio. So that's a pretty important thing to note, that this is while zkHoldem is the first game, and it's super exciting, and that's what we're really thrilled to be sharing and we're talking about today. Understand that it's also an entry into the larger entire gaming studio from Cart Studio. So I see the chat running, so you can put any comments or questions and thoughts in the chat as we go along. But why don't we kick it off again and just start by saying, GM to everyone, thanks for being here. We'll start with what's coming next month. Okay, Henry? And that's this exciting time that we're getting to share zkHoldem really with the world and in person. We were at the conference in Texas just last month in Austin, or 2 months ago, for Consensus, and we were there to just connect and meet. But now we're taking it a step further, and we will be in Paris, France next month, just a few weeks now, actually, as we get towards the end of June here, for the ETHCC conference, one of the biggest conferences during the year in blockchain. And we're going to be there to share the zkHoldem game. I will be presenting and speaking, and then we will also have a number of satellite events. We'll be participating at ZK Day from the Manta Network, alongside a bunch of other projects and communities. So we're going to have a really great opportunity to be there to share the lore of playing fully on-chain poker and Hold'em. And what's cool is, if you end up being at ETHCC, if you're located in Paris, if you know some of your friends or family that are interested in ETHCC and will be there, please let them know to check us out, because we will be there not only to talk and speak, but to connect with everyone. And as well, we'll have some cool swag, some zkHoldem stuff that we can give to people that we see in person, whether that's decks of cards, hats, but some of the kind of swag that's actually cool and useful and you'll enjoy and will make your life a little bit better. So that's a good starting point.
Yeah,
any other
yeah,
thoughts?
I think yeah, Michael, just to add to what you just said, like Mike mentioned that we'll be at the DK Day that Manta will be hosting at ECC. So it's gonna be a whole day of people, a hacker house, basically people building DK related projects, and there are gonna be panel as well. So I'm pretty sure Mike might be a speaker there as well. But more importantly is that we are actually in talk with the Meta team. We will probably have a exclusive area where we'll set up a few laptops that you will be able to play zkHoldem at the event directly, with the people around you. So if you are attending ECC, we will be posting a register link to DKD in a bit to the announcement, so that you can register for the event and then potentially participate in it and have fun on the virtual poker table with zkHoldem.
It's a really good point. That's right. You'll have a chance to actually be, playing at ECC as well, which is super exciting for sure. And then finally, if you have some thoughts around what to do in Paris for someone visiting, you can also let us know. We are people as well that want to know about what's going on. So there's a lot going on that week. Will be exciting. And as you see during this call, if you have questions or comments, you can put them in the chat. Henry has also just shared some of the information there as well that you can see if you're interested in registering for ZK Day by Manta Network, Cointelegraph, and Polychain Capital. There's your link right there on the right. Anything to add there, Henry, when it comes to ZK Day, ECC, the presentation that we will have, the cards that we will play, and the demo that you'll be able to enjoy?
Yeah, I think you have pretty much covered like most important things because you after all you will be the one attending, right? So super excited for you for your presence in Paris.
That's right. I will be there. And most of you may know it's Rippy, but when we're in Paris, I always say it's Ripe. So I'll be Ripe in Paris. Okay. In
Nice.
all fun and jokes aside, next up for the call, and we have a number of important comments we want to talk about, is the zkHoldem roll up and the beta setup that we have going on. Henry, do you want to dive into that a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. I saw that like punk rock in the chat posted when testnet. So yeah, here's to your question. So yeah, so basically, we if you don't know yet, we have already launched testnet version on Linea. I think like the week before. I think last week. No, actually the week before last week. So yeah, so we have been, we have a testnet up and running on Linea, but right now Linea is super hot, so it's being super congested and people are complaining about it. So then we decided, it's the time for us to actually, publish our own rollup because we have been working with the community for quite some time on our own rollup, and I think at this point it's ready for for at least a smaller scale like within community testing. So we actually, if you haven't, we are going to open it up to our community probably later this week or early next week, depending on like how our like final back testing works. But yeah, but if you haven't yet, please sign up for the advocate list which you can find on. So under the channel, there's a advocate sign up channel, and you can find a Typeform link there. If you go to the Typeform link, just register yourself. Talk a little bit of about yourself, and also share with us your Ethereum address so that we will be able to whitelist your address to the beta testing. And for all the advocate list sign up people who sign up on the advocate list, you will be the first one to test out the zkHoldem rollup beta. So yeah, super exciting time. And I promise you, it's gonna be the best UX you have seen from zkHoldem so far, and we are super happy with what we got.
Yeah, I want to stress two things here because it's very important, as you're mentioning this, Henry, is that one, you may have been thinking, oh, I was going to get to play zkHoldem a couple of months ago, right when we first launched our first community call, and we were working to continue to iterate. So if you have either demoed it already and now you're going to demo it again or play it again, you're going to notice complete enhancements and improvements. And it was already a fun experience to play. So as Henry said, the best UX by far. Anyone that understands it takes time to do these things. So we've been working hard, each day, each month now. And by I mean we, all of us, but specifically the developers, because those are the ones that take every single instance in the game and have to make sure it all works. So we're getting closer and closer to having this product. So in the short term, it may be like I want to play today, but we're trying to make sure that we can handle game load, networks, the amount of people that can play, because this is all in the blockchain. So as we continue to work through that, this is a huge step to be able to have testers people playing, and that's what you're coming in, and you get to benefit as well. I want to also do one thing. If you look in the chat, I'm going to drop in right now. I've dropped in a link to specifically book a time if you'd like, and I'm doing that only for anyone in here in the community call, to book a time where you can speak with me and Henry or one of us, but also get the to play the game. So we already have people booked up, that have been connecting, and we've been doing this for a while now, not just recently, but more recently, I'm opening this up again and showcasing that if you want to have a conversation about zkHoldem and get to play the most recent update to the UX, and you haven't yet, then you can make some time on that link, book a time, and we'll make sure to connect and let you do that and have some fun. And also, when you do that, we'd love for at any time that you play the zkHoldem on the UX and the experience, that you do screenshot it, share it, because one of the things we want to make sure to do is rely on our community, which is led by a lot of the people here in the community call. And as we move forward, the advocates and the advocate team to share all of the experiences that they have with zkHoldem with their audiences. And this way, we can bring in more and more players as we continue to, improve, iterate, and showcase the first kind of look at zkHoldem. So that's going to be in there for the remainder of the call. You can book time, and as well, if you don't want to book time, that's understandable too. Right now, the days are full as they are. Let's talk about community partners, because we're continuing to think about the community as we have this community call with everyone here. I want to ask you, just take a moment, Henry. Henry, when I say the word community, or you think about community, what comes to your mind? Like, what do you think about community?
I think like if we're talking about like Web3 communities, then NFT community is definitely the thing that pop up in my mind, because they are the most active, most vocal, and most crazy on CT. I'm pretty sure like you guys have seen what Azuki community has been doing so far today. So yeah, I mean that's my opinion.
Yeah, and that's, I think everyone has a pretty general idea of community, but obviously the key is community in Web3, and the blockchain and CT specifically is really built around, networking and sharing, to better each other. And so when we think about community here, we think about the community advocates for zkHoldem, and then we think about the community players and how we can all share this vision of playing fully on-chain Texas Hold'em with the world. And this is just kind of the first step. So this is really exciting.
Exactly. I think from this Azuki thing today, what like I have like been thinking about is that building a community is like a Web2 community is so fragile sometimes. It's really depending on how like the community members within those community can actually build meaningful relationship within the community with each other. And I think like one of the best ways to do that is definitely to poker, because like Web3 people, we are here, like most of us are here, we're talking about like making money, or talking about like shitcoin every day. But poker is definitely one of the good ways for you to actually improve your skill, like in no matter it's trading, no matter it's psychology, whatever. Poker is actually a really good way for people to build connections within the Web3 space. And I know a lot of like VCs and founders, they casually play pokers offline and online with other Web3 individuals as well. So I definitely think it's one of the best way to build meaningful relationship within the Web3 space if you wanna networking.
Well, it's great points. And also, just to add on to that as well, is the idea that, you know, playing poker and playing games is something that we all do, even if you're not just in crypto. I mean, the fact is that, you play all sorts of games. And so being able to play this game and then other games, but using the blockchain is not just using your enjoyment for games, but then also furthering the blockchain. And so what's happened, let's say with Azuki, and the community. It shows you how fragile things are. But really, the beauty is that when we think about being such a early community member or player advocate for not just zkHoldem, but any future game using zkP and from Card Studio, is you're expanding the ecosystem really from the start. And also, people play poker, like you said, VCs, anyone, anywhere, and the opportunity to continue to showcase this game to anyone in the world, anywhere, anytime, is super exciting. So I'm thrilled about that, and I think that we're going to be the first ones that fully have on-chain Hold'em that plays 100% is a really exciting opportunity to be a part of.
Yeah,
Right.
definitely, definitely. Michael, do you actually want to share a little bit alpha about our next community partner? Because we are going to make the announcement pretty soon.
Yeah, we could do that next. That's a great point. So the next, so many of you have seen, some of the poker tables that we put out and some of the ideas and suggestions and thoughts, and you've seen ETH Lizards. But we're excited to announce that the another community partner will be Lucky Ducky, and there's actually one Lucky Ducky advocate in here right now, Crooksy. So I want to give a shout out to Crooksy. I see the duck here, one of the really iconic Lucky Ducky characters, and they have agreed because they already play poker regularly, weekly, on the weekends, have their games, and I've been a Lucky Ducky fan and friend for a while. So they're joining into the zkHoldem community partnership, and we will have a cool design to share and showcase from Lucky Ducky specifically very soon. And we will also be announcing that this Friday we will be doing a joint uh, community space that we've been hosting. If you don't know, and you haven't, I think most of you do, on Fridays at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern. We are doing a regular Twitter space now that lasts 1 hour. We're joining different partners and different builders in the space, whether that's an NFT project, whether that's a DeFi project, anyone. And we're having different guests that we're working with come and speak and share. And so that's on Twitter every Friday. At the time I said this Friday will be Lucky Ducky and their founder, Jeremy Fisher. We will also be excited to chat with a bunch of Lucky Ducky core members and, of course, zkHoldem advocates as well. So that's an exciting announcement that Lucky Ducky, which has been one of the strong builders inside of NFT Twitter for now more than a year, with their different claymation characters and potential for a short videos. And I think they're working on different sorts of streaming content that they're going to be partnered with us, because not only is that a really strong community of people that show up, but there are lots of poker players in there that are tough to beat, man. I mean, I've seen Crooksy at these tables, and it's going to be exciting that we're going to move forward with zkHoldem as part of it, and Lucky Ducky as part of zkHoldem, and the idea that you'll be able to play with your Lucky Ducky in the future at a Lucky Ducky table is exciting. So really excited to have Lucky Ducky join us, and we'll hear more from their founder, Jeremy Fisher, and the team this Friday. It's funny, I asked Jeremy, I said, we're doing the community call if you wanted to drop in. He doesn't normally wake up this early, but he said on Friday he will. So that's the exciting announcement, at least from the community side. Joining ETH Lizards, we have Lucky Ducky, and more to come around that.
Yeah, yeah. So like ETH Lizard and Lucky Ducky will be just the beginning of our community partners, because even right now we are talking with multiple NFT communities that are they have this culture of playing poker nights every week, or a bi-weekly like poker nights type of event. So when we talking to them about potentially having a community specific room on zkHoldem, it's a super interesting idea to all of them. So as we move along towards our mainnet launch, we will announce more and more of those community partners. So definitely stay tuned. And if any of you guys are listening, have some specific community that you have in mind, think it will be a good idea for us to collaborate and connect, please feel free to shoot me a DM, and we are actively looking for more communities to help them build their own poker table on zkHoldem, and potentially, in the future, hosting tournament for them as well.
Yeah, that's right. I was just thinking about we've had a number of conversations with different projects. We've had a number of different showcases of what it could look like as a project skin, and we're in the middle of different conversations with some of these different projects. But if you specifically have one that you think we should talk to that maybe we've missed or you would love to see, by all means, please let us know and send it over, and we'll see what we can do there to see if we can onboard them. That's always helpful. Of course, one of the reasons for the community call and also for having an advocate team is so that the team can advocate for what we think makes a lot of sense and what we should do next and be a part of the conversation. So oftentimes the advocates have brought different suggestions and ideas, which is really helpful and always appreciated. So thank you for that. What about Henry? We did some intros, but let's just quickly talk about latest updates to zkHoldem and the entire ecosystem and some of the structure around how it's going to go down, because we've made some enhancements and improvements, and we're working through that. When I say tokenomics, what do you say?
Yeah. That's actually, I think, the biggest alpha that we're gonna drop today. But like we have been going back and forth on this point for quite some time now, because building a poker site online is definitely something on the legal side is something super sensitive. So we want to make sure that whatever we push out is not gonna bring us any legal trouble in terms of building an online casino. And we want to make sure that we can not only protect ourselves but also protect other users of the platform, so that people around the globe will be able to use zkHoldem and play the game as they want without getting into trouble. So we are constantly been talking with our legal team, and I think right now I'm confident to say we have found a way to mitigate the legal issue with online gambling, and we can so basically allow people to play zkHoldem as on a regular, I guess, Web2 poker site pretty soon. But since it's still under discussion, and we're talking about like how to best push out the final version, so I cannot like talk too much about the final design. But it's just something that we've been working on. So if you guys are here listening, just make sure to understand that in the future that zkHoldem is not just gonna be a free to play game. It's gonna be something that you can play actual poker with.
Okay, so that's a pretty big announcement. Just to want to go back on that for 1 second, just as you understand what we have initially started with free to play, which you can play for free right now outside of the gas. The idea, but we're in the process of making sure that we can make it so that not only is it going to be where you're able to play with communities, whether it's in certain type of tournaments and don't always have to have cash games, but the idea of being able to play like in the same way you would play at a centralized Web2 site is in the works and under focus, in focus, and in the works is what we could say right now. So that's a big drop of news right there to understand. There's still some ways to make it happen, so we have to work through them all, and we are doing that. So that's really, really exciting to think about.
Yeah, and also I think on the tokenomics side, so I think one thing that we can mention is that NFT is going to be heavily involved, and also it's already we are finalizing the design, so we will be working on development pretty soon. So you can expect that to be with our mainnet launch, it's the entire design is going to be ready.
Yeah, it's really important, and I want to stress the last part about the idea of like a NFT drop or a PFP. The thing that I think makes zkHoldem and larger than that Card Studio very unique is that oftentimes an NFT indicates a community or a PFP and stuff. Well, we're using that technology, blockchain, to further real games and create games. And so the same way that you think about how you could play zkHoldem and the idea of playing poker, think about all these other games that you could play in a casino or in ways, and that we are considering how we will use the ZK technology and our development team to make other games. So this is exciting in the sense that if you are part of this community early on, and let's say you're an advocate, you're on the you're part of, you get an NFT. Now your NFT is going to get you lots of different value propositions as you move forward inside of the games and the different gaming experiences. So we're not just going to drop like an NFT just to drop an NFT, but we want to make sure to understand who's been playing ZK Hold'em, how you can play in future games, and one of the benefits for being really early on to a gaming studio, which is a big thing that we're doing here. It's a
100%.
lot. Yeah. So
I think the point is that I think for those of you who has been following us for a longer time, then you probably can realize we are not here we don't want to hype things up too much and just drop some NFT or launch a token just to in this bear market, right? We actually want to build something real that you can play with. So and then all the NFT and stuff is gonna be like with utility. So like we want to make sure that whatever we launch, whatever like you're gonna be paying for, is gonna be something that actually like net 100% necessary to the ecosystem and to participate in the ecosystem. We don't want to just drop something unnecessary just for the sake of it, right? And also I think in terms of like future games that Mike has been talking about like quite some time. So I know you've been hinting at me talking about like future games. So yeah, I think maybe we can talk a little bit about our next game. We are actually already in the process of not we passed the brainstorming stage. We are already like in the stage where we are actually developing the actual mechanism of the next game. It's going to be Hearthstone like TCG. So and it's going to be 100% on chain as well. So and in terms of style, it's going to be something super unique. It's not going to be something you have seen within Web3 yet. So yeah, definitely stay tuned for that as well. We're gonna have new social media coming soon for that specific game as well. So yeah, so we will release information as we go along.
Yeah, so that's right. I've been teasing it because I just want people to understand that not only are the developers working on this, but we've been working on already what will come in addition. So we're not just here to drop ZK Hold'em and that's it. We're here to drop an amazing ZK Hold'em and Hold'em game and then continue on. And so also just as an idea, if you're thinking about, oh, well, why would I need an NFT or what would that do? Like just for one really quick example of what that benefit by being having, let's say, the ZK Hold'em NFT is, when you go to play a Hold'em, let's say, and you want to play a private game, you could set up a private game where you could play with only the people that you want to play with and invite them. And maybe that's one of the benefits of holding the NFT, where you actually can create your own table with your own friends at any time, right? So there's different ways where you're actually getting the value of holding it just as a starting point. So these are ways where we actually want to build real initiative and real value into owning the part of the project in a sense.
Another thing about the NFT is that not only you will be able to create a private room with it, but also as the host of the game, normally with the traditional like Web2 online poker, like the rake goes 100% to the platform. But as the NFT holder and as the host of the game, you will actually share a part of the rake as well. So that's something we can talk about right now. So definitely keep that point in mind.
Yeah, so there's a lot we've been thinking on, and we don't ever want to overpromise. It's always been an under-promise, over-deliver, which is oftentimes not the focal point of many projects or stuff going on in blockchain these days. but that's why we work slow. We work fast in the background, but we don't necessarily tell everyone everything right away because we want to make sure we have them locked in, ready to go, and can do it right and make sure that it's good. Because there's nothing worse than releasing something that doesn't meet the standards you're going to expect. Because once you start to play, you're not going to want to stop. So, but that's a really good point around not just getting to be able to set up your private game, but actually having a reason and benefiting from creating, different tournaments, games, and having that access point, which is another beneficial point. Henry, for the last thing I was thinking, and we didn't even necessarily share this, but anything we want to say to any of the advocates or people considering being submitting, or if they haven't, what's our time frame that we want to hear from them?
Yeah, I mean, definitely, if you haven't signed up on the advocate list, definitely do that right now, because we will be releasing our beta access to only the advocates sign up, those who sign up on the advocate list first. So you will be the first one to be able to test out the beta version of zkHoldem on zkHoldem rollup. So yeah, so we will release those access in batch. So if you missed the one we're going to release, this week or early next week, we are, definitely, just sign up as soon as possible so that you will be included in the future batches. And also, it's, sign up on the advocate list. It's like, submitting application of yourself. So there will be a screening process. So if you are selected to be one of the advocates, you will be given a advocate role in Discord, and you will have a specific channel that only advocates have access to. So you will get the first-hand information on zkHoldem and Card Studio, and also there are other benefits that you will be able to enjoy as well. So definitely, if you haven't signed up yet, please do that.
Yeah, please do that. That's what we're working on as well right now, is trying to lock in the specific advocates and making sure we don't miss. We got over 500 submissions and applications already, so it's taken some time to go through them all. But we're personally speaking with every advocate and every submission. So if you have submitted, we haven't spoken to you yet, we will speak to you very soon. And if you haven't submitted, now is the time to make sure you get that in. And then lastly, the advocates, and what does it mean? It doesn't just mean that you benefit. It means you get to be really at the core of helping this in the different private chats that we have as well. So we're really looking to have you as not just you're on your own, you're part of it, and that's what I think everyone really wants to be a part of, which is exciting. With that, Henry, I was thinking, we haven't done as much showcasing of this in as a early on in advance of these community calls, but we've been talking, Henry and I were on a call right before this to talk about stuff that we normally do in general. But I'm thinking, Henry, if it works for you, do you want to just set up our next community call right now and at least tell everyone that we could do one on Wednesday, July 12th? Would that work? Does that work for you? Because I'm thinking we should do that, where we'll do this again in 2 weeks with some major updates as we head into ECC and the week that will be following the next call. So I think we should do another one of these community calls to make sure that we get all of the advocates locked in between this week, and that we'll have more updates as we head into Paris in case anyone is going to be there or wants some more updates, and we can see how the progress has been with some of our team. And I think a community call in 2 weeks would be great. What do you think?
100%. I'm down. I'm down. Let's do that.
Okay.
And also, I think at that time maybe we will be able to, even live stream our zkHoldem beta on our own rollup to our audience as well.
Yeah. So there you go. We're just making a call right now. I want to make sure, because I want to give you advance. One of the things a lot of times is, obviously, because we're global, just to give everyone a heads up, I'm located in Los Angeles, which is on the West Coast of America. Henry in Asia. So we're doing this across, morning, night, and we understand you are somewhere in there, no matter where you are. So we are here all times of the day, but we want to make sure to give you the heads up first and foremost the next community call will be in 2 weeks, July 12th. That's 2 weeks from today, same time, same place, Wednesday, July 12th. If you have questions that you've heard today, if you have thoughts about what you heard today, if you have suggestions, then we have 2 weeks to hear from you, to talk about them as we set them up in the future. Reason I also mentioned location-wise, only because as I see, shout out to you, I'm King Kron. Yep, Los Angeles. If you are in Los Angeles, let's say, and you're an advocate, you're a community member, and you maybe want something because you're not going to be in Paris, let me know. Maybe we can connect and meet up here in the West Coast of America to give you some of the stuff here. Because if you haven't seen the swag, that is the zkHoldem deck of cards. You can play with your friends with those, and those are a great deck of cards. We got hats. We got fun stuff that people have really enjoyed. They loved it when they saw it in Texas. It's not your standard stuff that you can't use, but if you like to play cards, then this is a really great opportunity as well. Finally, the last thing, and appreciate anyone that is making the connection right now with me. You can send me and we can become Discord friends. I see them coming in already. But just as a note, again, July 12th will be our next community call. That's 2 weeks from now. But of course, if you're not in the Discord, make sure you join our Twitter Spaces on Fridays, every Friday, 8 a.m. Pacific, where we're doing fun stuff on Twitter as well, and not talking it specifically kind of as much of behind the scenes. But this is where we really get into the nitty gritty. And so we're going to continue these community calls. And that's all I've got. I think it's been a good 40 minutes of sharing what we've been up to, what we're working on, and how we're moving forward. But the highlights, of course, are our own roll-up, the testing, the gameplay that is going on now. If you look in the chat, you can make that appointment on the link that I've shared. You can also DM either of us, message us with any other comments, questions, or thoughts. But very, very bullish on the people that have shown up today, and very bullish on these community calls growing as we give you more advance notice and more of the community. These are not intended to necessarily be huge to start, but we will continue to grow the game. And as people find out about the game, you can imagine the excitement and how this will grow quickly. So I want to just tell everyone to have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll leave it to you, Henry, in case you have any final thoughts.
Lovely, lovely. Again, thank you guys for being here. And we're super early, and really appreciate all of your support. And yeah, as we mentioned, we'll be releasing our zkHoldem beta to all the advocates sign up in a few days. So please sign up on advocate list, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you all for joining us again, and stick to the Discord, where we'll continue to highlight and chat and see more about the game of poker. I mean, poker's blowing up again across the world in Web 2. And so we are going to take that opportunity to make sure that we can play fully on-chain transparently and see who are the real rounders. But everyone have a wonderful day. We will talk to you on our next community call in 2 weeks from today. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you guys. Bye-bye.